Devin, it's so good to see you here. I met Devin about 15 or 20 minutes ago at the Sudbury Petro-Canada EV charging stations, and overall my experience at Petro-Canada has been great, but only 75% of the time. And 75% of the time is not going to cut it when it comes to needing a charge when you really need a charge. And there are other options as well. But Devin, first of all, tell me who you are, and just first start. Tell me a little bit of your history of being an EVer.
Sure. Well, my name is Devin Arthur, and I am the founder and president of the Sudbury chapter of EV Society. So I've been with EV Society, I guess now for about 4 years. I've had this for 3.5. So I've been an advocate for those past 4 years, just spreading the word, dispelling the myths, helping people purchase EVs and all that kind of stuff.
Great. And what do you think of the infrastructure change between, let's say, even 2 years ago to now?
Oh yeah, it's night and day. Like, before, well, even a year and a half ago, we didn't have the Petro-Canada network, right? So we didn't have across Canada, generic DC fast network, and now we do. And now you're seeing like Electrify Canada expanding across the country. Here in Ontario, we have Ivy Charge. The Prairies, we have Co-op. Out, further west, we have BC Hydro, obviously, and Electrify Canada again. But yeah, it's night and day with how much infrastructure that we have.
Well, I'm so glad to bump into you because I was going to contact all the EV societies across the country because, of course, I want to promote my drive that's going to show people exactly what you're talking about, is that it is going to be convenient.
Yeah.
And I have so many videos where I actually say that it's actually as convenient as a gas car and is even more convenient because really, if everything works properly, and I'm saying that with a grin here, it's actually more convenient because you can plug in, which takes really less than a minute and then you can just leave your car.
Yeah.
And then you can go for dinner,
Yeah.
or you can go to bathroom, or you can, grab a coffee or a sandwich. And by the time you're back, your car's fully charged. So I know that if I go out for dinner and it's near, let's say, the Keg restaurant like it was in Thunder Bay, I mean, it's more convenient because I can plug in, go have dinner, and then if I'm going to keep driving, I got to go to a gas station on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's actually, in some cases, more convenient. And with these new high-speed power, I mean, I'm getting 150 kilowatt, and there's cars coming out now, like the Porsche Taycan,
Yeah, they can do
and the Audi e-tron, which take 270 kilowatt. So I mean, it's going to be, and that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more and more, as we both know. And I did mention that I'm having some issues. And what's the issues that you've been finding at this station?
This one, so this charger in particular, sometimes, like mine, charging stopped. But
let me check mine. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I'm still pumping away here at 148 kilowatts, so that's what I'm looking for. And actually, I was told by I did call the company, let them know what was happening, and they said that quite often on a hot day, it can overheat, and that's what I think what was happening. But right now, it's starting to drizzle, and the sun is hidden by the clouds. So being cooler, I think, will help getting me a full charge.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, it's an issue that, well, random issues can happen at any of these chargers, right? But, whether or not the charging gets interrupted, you get errors when you're trying to authenticate your payment. There's all these random things that can happen. But yeah, one of the things that we're trying to do is liaise with networks, like not just Petro-Canada, but all the charging networks, to make sure that, they understand that the reliability is key. Because people coming from gas stations, they have, well, look how many pumps here. They have, 2, 4, 6 pumps. They're always up. With these, right now at least, they're not always 100%. So they really have to strive to get to that 100% uptime to build driver confidence so that you can just get in your car and drive and just know in the back of your mind that you won't have any issues.
Yeah, and the other thing is, every time I have an issue, generally speaking, I'm not like really upset because right now I'm not on a quick drive. I don't really have to be anywhere. Mind you, I want to be in for dinner with some friends in Collingwood, which, I don't think it's going to happen now. But the thing is that my main focus here is to evaluate all this charging network. Yeah, it's starting to rain now. We're gonna go under the cover here.
The canopy.
Yeah, we're under the
this
canopy.
works.
I should have a rain jacket.
Oh, do you?
But in any case, we can go inside and finish it inside.
In where?
Right in here, under the canopy here.
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
we don't have to get wet. Yeah, let's just go. Because it's starting to rain.
Yeah.
I don't want to go next to a gas pump. I'm going to get sick. Okay, so we're in front of the neighbors, like the convenience store next to the chargers, which is also good. It's nice to have a convenience store that's got a bathroom, that's got place for coffee or a snack or anything that you may need while you're waiting for your charge.
Mm-hmm.
And again, because my car pulls 150 kilowatts, I mean, I just have enough time to go to the bathroom, grab a sandwich, maybe make a couple of notes to answer an email, and then I got to go.
Yeah.
And lately, I've had to go before, like my car's ready before I'm ready to go. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Where was I?
Well, and even the other day, like as an example, I had to drive to Aurelia, which isn't too far.
Right.
But I use the Petro network exclusively, and I made it there and back without issues. Like I charge in Barrie, I charge in Parry Sound twice, and it was just plug in, go. And like you said, the convenience store is really a good thing to have, because both times, I was inside going to the bathroom with my daughter who was with me. We had some food, we came back out and we were ready to go. So, I mean, that's what I try to explain to people. Like, no one's sitting down and driving thousands of kilometers without stopping. Like, no one is going to be doing that, right? Because it's physically impossible. You're going to get too tired. You have to get out and stop. So to be able to stop and kind of relax and just kind of chill out for a bit I think is one of the benefits.
Not only that, I'm going to tell you something that's really quite funny. Because I'm 68 years old now, right? And I got to pee more often. That's just it. And when I go 150, 200 kilometers, I'm telling you right now, I got to go pee.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the charger, but I want to get my car charged first. So I'm stressing out to get my car charged first. Then I go pee. Yeah. And then then I have my relief, right?
Yeah.
But that just shows you, like, the 200 kilometers is really, even when I was working, I would normally, my interval was 200 kilometers.
Yeah.
And because I was seeing my customers or whatever, or I wanted a coffee or needed to go to the bathroom or whatever it is. And now that there is the Petro-Canada option, which didn't exist until very recently, I want to depend on Petro-Canada, and I'm doing my best to give them the information, to let them know what the issues are so that they can fix them.
That's right.
So that they can be reliable. So I'm really on their side, even though sometimes I'm talking to some of the customer service people and I sound like I'm really pissed. And the part of me that wants to get going, because I want to make a day, I have a meeting with somebody, or if I have to be somewhere at a certain time, and if I'm delayed by even 15 minutes or a half an hour, and it's been sometimes more than that, an hour, 2 hours, that's really not inconvenient. I mean, it's really inconvenient.
Yeah.
And that's where things have to change. And the more the reliability of the stations that are working is the ones that are going to get the majority of the business.
Yeah, and you know what? That's one of the things I keep telling people. Like, a lot of people, it's kind of getting used to the thing, right? Like, again, people are used to having the gas pumps working all the time, but with EV chargers, you have to make sure that if there's an issue, call and report it. That's the biggest thing I can say, is call, make sure it's logged, make sure you have like a reference number or something, make sure they know about it. Because if you're just, putting a negative review on PlugShare, I mean, they will see it eventually, but a higher priority is getting that call in and to get, a trouble ticket created for them to get out and fix the actual issue. So that's one thing too. Or, don't just rant on Facebook.
Now, the other issue that's going to happen, and this is something that I'm really happy to report, is that all my travels, stopping at charging stations across the country, usually I'm the only one there, and that was 2 years ago. And now, 2 years ago when I was going through Electrify America, I mean, even though they had like 10 stations at some locations, or 8 or 4, they had their issues too. Sometimes I had to go through, out of 8 chargers, I could only get 1 to work. But that was in 2 years ago. And I felt like a beta tester for them. And the customer service people all knew me because there was always these issues.
Yeah.
But now they're working flawlessly. Yeah. And it does take time.
Yeah.
And it is new. I mean, Elon Musk and his first, bunch of Tesla Model 3s, when they came out, they had issues too.
Yep.
Now much less, because this is new technology. Because we're just really in the infancy. Because right now you said, was it 8 pumps? 2, 4. Okay, 2, 4, 6. Right, 6 pumps. Okay, I was at a Electrify Canada station just less than 3 weeks ago, on my way down from Whistler, and I'm really happy because I go back and forth to Whistler all the time, and there's usually myself there.
Mm-hmm.
But lately there's been 2 cars, 3 cars, and just last time I was there, 4 cars charging, including myself. And then when I left, there was another car right behind me. Mm-hmm. What does that say?
Yeah, adoption is kicking in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And,
well, and even here, like, I mean, Sudbury's not a big place, but they're frequently busy here now, and which is good. Like, I love seeing it, and I have a few notifications set on PlugShare where it'll tell me when the chargers are in use, and it's quite frequently now where both chargers are in use here, Perry Sound, out west towards Sault Ste. Marie. So you're really starting to see that adoption take hold, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that the mindset of people that I ran into on my drive across to Newfoundland, 2 years ago, was they would see my car and they say, they didn't even know that Audi made an electric car. They liked the color of the car, and that got the conversation going. But it was a novelty then.
Yeah.
People weren't taking it really seriously. They were thought, well, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. They never in their mind thought that my next car or truck or whatever was going to be an EV. But today, that's completely changed.
Yeah.
And how would you say it's changed?
I think it's changed a lot. I mean, just, being with EV Society, obviously we have a lot of, contact with the public, and we've seen, like, just the, sorry, my son's out of the car there. We've seen, like, people's perceptions and their misconceptions change, whereas, maybe even a few years ago, people were saying, well, EVs don't work in the winter, and they have such short range. Now you don't hear those questions as much. You just hear, well, they're too expensive, or some sort of issues about the mining environmental side of it. But you see people's, like, everything's kind of shifting more towards positive viewpoints versus the negative.
Exactly.
Because people are starting to understand how they work. They're seeing more people with them, and most of the time when I'm charging at a station, I'll have someone come up and ask me questions.
Absolutely.
And because they're genuinely interested,
That's
they
right.
want to know more about it.
That's right.
So yeah, it's changed a lot even in the last couple of years.
Yeah. And when I was in Brandon, I had to wait. There was 2 bolts actually. One was from Regina, and the other one was from Kelowna.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to wait. And I think that's great. That's the first time I had to wait at a Petro-Canada.
Yeah.
And I think that's great.
Yeah.
And I've been telling people, as the people from Petro-Canada, that I'm saying now you have 2, which is a great start.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that in 5 years,
Yeah.
you're going to have just as many or more
Yeah.
electric vehicle chargers than you do gas, and it's slowly going to go the other way.
Yeah.
And that may be hard to envision, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're already seeing it with Electrify Canada, with the recent announcement, right, of the expansion across the country. As far as I'm aware, all of their stations are going to have a minimum of 4, right? So you're already seeing that, expansion take hold, where they realize 2 isn't enough anymore, so they're going to have 4.
Well, actually, in British Columbia, they only have nothing less than 4.
That's right, exactly, and that's the same going to be across the country.
Right.
So you're going to see that either 4, 6, 8, and it's just going to explode because.
Yeah. And in Electrify America, when I went to Las Vegas, there was, I think, at least 10 stations.
Right.
And in Nashville, I think there was like at least 10 stations there as well.
Yeah.
They really are preparing for the future.
Yeah. And even Ivy Charge, like they're an Ontario specific network, but here in Sudbury there are 3. So 3 is still better than 2, but even they know that 2 isn't enough, right?
Yeah. Anyway, Devin, whatever inconvenience I had today, it has disappeared.
That's good.
Because I had the opportunity to meet you, and I want to thank you for, first of all, sharing me your experience here and on the video, and I'm just very happy that you've taken on the role of the president of the Sudbury Area Electric Vehicle Association. What is actually the name of it?
Electric Vehicle Society, Greater Sudbury chapter.
Okay, well, congratulations, and I wish you the very best of success.
Thanks.
To keep promoting the EV movement, and really, you got to have a smile on your face because you're making a difference. And I think everybody that is an EVer, you know, wants to make a difference for the environment. I mean, look at what's going on in the planet.
Yes.
You know, we all are aware, and this global warming is due to carbon emissions, and 50%, I believe, I could be wrong, but it's a lot of emissions from vehicles,
Yeah.
whether they're trucks, transports, or regular autos, and every little bit helps.
Yep.
And eventually it will, and that's why the governments are really pushing for incentives to really put people over.
Yep.
And you really see that the legacy automakers are making a stand for the future. I know that Audi has already created their last ICE vehicle. For those people watching, internal combustion engine, and they will not be producing any more ICE vehicles going forward as far as new vehicles. And they're slowly bringing in all the new models that will be all electric.
Yep.
Anyway, I've taken your time. I want to thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a great day,
Yeah.
and continued success and best of luck.
Thanks, you too.